Oh, excuse me. Oh, I got burps. It's Monday. Of course we got burps. When does it say May 24th? Hold on, let me change it. Why does it say May 24th? That's hilarious. May 24th? It's not May 24th. Hold on. Scrolling. Why is it scrolling? Oh my god. Oh, it's scrolling. It's just a scrolling track. Obviously the wrong text box. Add source. Text. There we go. We'll fix it. We'll make it yellow. There we go. 01. Put it right over. There we go. 01. There we go. Why did it say May 24th? I don't know. Don't worry, guys. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Happen. It's the end of that song. All right, we got to get away from that. It's actually May 1st, you guys. If you saw the thumbnail, it's actually not the 24th. Don't worry. You have not time traveled into the future. It's actually May the 1st. Don't worry. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Oh my god, I got something in my ear or something. Okay, start out the show. If you're on Replay Team 6, comment in the chat. Just do it. It's real. It's a thing. If you're on Replay Team 6, hit the like button. If you're on Replay Team 6, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Replay Team 6, become a member. Or a patron. We lost a bunch of patrons today. It's the first of the month. You know how it is. All their credit cards. They're getting updated or whatever. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. If you're not on Replay Team 6, become a member. If you're not on whatever, who cares? No one cares. Hit the like button. Let's move on. It's Monday, the 1st of May, 2023. We've got 12,000 people watching today, and not a lot of chatters. If you guys aren't chatting, I'm gonna play. I put it in the chat. If you're not chatting, I put it in the chat. Fair warning. If y'all aren't chatting much, I'm going to play Risk Online. I'm just going to play video games and just sit here silently playing video games. Warned. You've been warned. Fair warning has been issued. And then if people say, hey, play Risk, then I'll play Risk. It's the punishment or the reward. I don't know. I don't know if it's a reward or a punishment at this point. So whatever. That's what's up. I think as part of the self-care, that's fair. Hello, Fish Fam from the Fish Fam Link YouTube channel. Aubrey is here. Frank Dominguez is giving a thumbs up from the attic. I wonder how Frank's liking his new insulation up there in the attic. Is he liking it? All that fresh, fluffy, brand new insulation that's up there. It cost us a lot. It cost us more than just buying him a new mattress. So hopefully he likes it. We'll see. Gary Chodarao is here. Says, when I trim my plants, it looks like a barber has committed malpractice. What can I do to improve? Okay. First off, you want to trim tops and replant. Okay? Any stem plants you got, trim the top portion. Take 3-4 inches off the top, replant that in the substrate, remove old plant to an area where it can just re-sprout. For me, that's the sump of the aquarium. I can take all those rooty, funky-looking bottoms of plants, I can stick them down in the sump with a plant weight on them and let them sprout down in there again and use the new trimmings from those. So stem plants, do that. Trim tops off, replant tops. Boom. That'll improve it, first off. Not only will it improve the aesthetic, it'll actually improve the overall plant growth over time because you're going to be encouraging the healthy growth as opposed to bushing and spreading and all that. So that's the first thing with stem plants. With mosses, there's not really a good way to trim moss, although I have seen people actually use barber clippers, namely Chris Lukup. Famously made some videos of him using razor clippers, underwater waterproof razor clippers under the water to trim his plants. But mosses is like a bonsai thing. You're gonna have to practice. That's always just going to be a thing that eventually you'll figure out what you like to do with that. Something that may aid you in doing that is if you keep most of your mosses and things like that onto something that you can remove from the tank and trim in like a bucket of aquarium water. Like trim it outside the aquarium without trying to get your arms all the way down in there, and then replace, take that piece, put it back into your scape, and then you could probably practice that way a little bit easier. Although mosses, for me, I generally do the pinch and pull method, which means there'll be like this whole area of moss, and I'm like, yank, and I just yank it right off of there, and I go, and I throw it wherever I'm going to throw it. Maybe I throw it right in the chicken yard, and the chickens eat it. Or maybe I throw it in a bucket of water, or maybe I throw it in the sump and let it grow. Depends on the moss, generally speaking. But yeah, that's for mosses. So for stuff that is carpeting down at the bottom, you are just going to have to be aggressive and deal with the lawnmower barber. How did you put it? Looks like a barber has committed malpractice. Looks like a bad barber has done it. But you're going to have to get a little more aggressive with carpeting plants than you would expect, generally speaking. Some carpeting stem plants, you want to remove the whole carpet, replant. That's the only real way to trim it. But get a little aggressive with carpeting plants and then let them re-sprout. You know what I'm saying? It's just like mowing your lawn for the first time after winter. You're probably going to knock a little too much of it off the top, but that's okay because it's going to regrow and be nice and green and vibrant the way that you want to look at it. So hopefully that helps you out, kind of points you in the right direction. But I will say this, I have noticed over the years, there are a lot of people that, oh man, I can't plant my plants. I don't know how to do that. Man, you make it look easy. I make it look easy because I've done it a lot. That really is what it is. It really boils down to, I just did it nonstop for a few years. I had lots and lots of tanks that constantly needed maintenance. I just did it a lot. And then it was like, oh, I know how to do that now. Just like when you go see somebody play the piano at a live event, you're like, man, you make that piano playing look easy, bro. And they're like, yeah, I practiced a bunch. And then now I know where all the keys are and I just play them. And then I didn't know that song. So then I practiced that song. And then now I know how to play that song. I messed it up a bunch of times. And then I figured out, it goes like that. Same thing. Guitar players, perfect example. Wow, look at him playing those guitars. He knows how to play them guitars, right? Same deal. They practiced a bunch and then figured out what it was. Same thing with me is that I practiced trimming and planting plants a bunch, and then I just kind of know how to do it now. I don't know if I'm very good at teaching people how to do it, but it is what it is. We all are trying. I'm trying to learn how to be better at teaching people. How about that? Trying to learn to be better at making better YouTube videos that are more rounded and more educational and stuff. But then again, I'm also leaning into making more comedy videos. So who knows? Maybe I try to just be a funny guy from now on. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know the answers to everything, but I do ramble on here like I do sometimes. So, but yeah, it basically does come down to practice, like Alyssa says, as the follow-up. Is there a better alternative than enrolling in barber school? Well, I mean, it might actually just be helpful to enroll in barber school. As far as I know, you learn a whole bunch of stuff in barbershop school, so maybe that would be cool, but I don't know if it's a long-term career, realistically. Most of the people I know that were barbers/hairdressers, they did that for a period of time until they had enough money to, do another career. So I don't know, but you could probably do barber school if you want. I certainly get practice. My fastest-growing plant is pearlweed, which I have as a carpet plant in one tank and a bush in another. So actually it sounds like you are getting practice. Something that might be helpful for you might be to, set up your cell phone camera, record yourself, see what you're doing, like where you could have gone wrong, something like that. You could actually just look back at the footage. You don't need to publish it or anything like that, but I have noticed in the past that is actually really helpful for me. That I do record stuff. I'm like, what was I doing? Like, why did I do that? Oh, okay, I guess it sort of makes sense that I did that. Or, man, I'm dumb. Don't do that anymore. And, next time I come into this situation, I will not do that. I will do a different thing. So that might help you. Access to technology now is so much better than it was many years ago. So you actually do. I would have a tendency to lean on go get some technology involved and you could definitely find out what you could be doing wrong. I do know for a long period of time I didn't have a good way of accessing my tanks, so I'd stand on a bucket or a step stool. It turns out step stools and buckets are A, not that great to stand on, B, not really designed for long-term standing on. And I eventually got, hold on, I got some of these things. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Wow, my internet. Oh no, it's just Amazon being ridiculous. This is incredibly expensive. Why is this so expensive? Stop. Load. What do you call this? Adjustable work platform. That's what they're calling it. I think there's better options down here. This one's too expensive. My God, why is it $150? Buck wild. Let's do some secret shopper time. Welcome to the Secret Shopper Show on a Monday. I like singing weird, useless songs on the internet. Welcome to YouTube. This is what happens on YouTube while I'm searching on Google on Amazon. Where's a reasonably priced one? Wow, these are all ridiculously expensive. Hold on while we elevator music our way to something that's reasonably priced. Ergo Master Work. Here we go. This one's, hold on. Luis Ladders. Here we go. Luis Ladders is the spot, apparently. Federal Trade Commission requires me to tell you that this Amazon post is sponsored. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so if you buy something, I'll get a commission. If you don't, I won't, and it won't matter to you. But Federal Trade Commission needs me to warn you. Warning! I posted a link. Okay, so I got these work. Oh, God, what were they called? Work platform. These deals. This really helped out a lot for me. Being able to stand on a platform as opposed to being on a step ladder or on a bucket or a whatever. This was much better for me to, keep up stamina, working on tanks for a longer period of time, less back pain, neck pain, that kind of stuff from leaning over, being in a weird angle, all that kind of crap. So, yeah, I mean, it's small things like that may or may not make it more enjoyable for you to maintain being in the hobby, right? Like, I think that's a big concern that we all have, is that, people kind of get burnt out. Like, maybe you're tired, maybe you don't have the continued, like, I don't want to keep fiddling with this, but maybe you're fiddling with something that is not it's not bringing you joy, right? It's not returning joy. You could just be feeling like worn out from it. Maybe that's the deal, whatever. But I would keep practicing. Nabo says Naboo. I'm gonna say Naboo from now on. Plus it doubles for leg lifts. Hell yeah, it does. Think about your deep knee bends, your leg lifts, your power squats. Get those glutes going. Get those glutes powered up. Get the glutes powered up. Get them glistening. And then do some aquascaping. Glistening glutes and aquascaping. Oh, I am in the green room today in case anyone wants to call in. Just come in there and start talking, and I think I have the when people join noise, I think I have that turned off. So sometimes I don't notice when people come in. Yeah. Melissa says, okay, but what if you got stilts? I've used stilts many times. I don't actually own any stilts anymore, mainly because I don't do drywall that often to require having them, and they would have a tendency to get beat up from constantly carting them around, or like being kicking around in the shop and like whatever. So they would just be in misrepair. So I sold those to somebody that needed them, and haven't bought a pair since then. Could do stilts, but I don't know if it's good for aquascaping. I've never tried it for aquascaping. It might be inclined to tip over, I think. I think it might tip over a bunch. Yeah. And like fall into your aquarium. And if it's, heaven forbid, if it's glass. Heaven forbid. Heaven to Betsy, guys. Oh, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid was the glass aquarium and it would get broken. Welcome to the show. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I have a daughter who's a Swiftie. Okay? I found out the other day, guys. The bad news. Oh, the bad news, guys. My daughter's a Swiftie. She's 4. She's blonde. So, naturally, she's going to like Taylor Swift, right? I think that's the reality. It could be worse. She could be like a Ernest Borgnine fan. Or Engelbert Humperdinck. I would like to play an Engelbert Humperdinck song for you guys right now, but we can't. Because we'll get a copyright strike. I don't know if we'll get a copyright strike, but we'll get a copyright claim, at least. And I hope you guys understand. I turned off the mid-rolls, okay? I might have to turn them back on. I know that I accidentally turned them on last week. I might have to turn them back on. I'm gonna have to turn those mid-rolls back on unless we get enough members around here. Unless we get enough members, we're going mid-rolls, baby. Everyone just gets kicked off the stream to go watch a commercial every however long. Aubrey says Taylor has some bangers though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be worse. It could be way worse. As a 4-year-old girl, it would be weird if she was like a DMX fan, right? It would be a little weird if she was running around barking like a dog and screaming about how X is going to give it to you. That would be weird. I don't think she's ever heard DMX though, so we're in the clear for now. Oh yeah, I've been rocking one of those for a little while now. You can also get a stand. You can also stand next to a bucket and siphon tanks that are high up into a bucket without the bucket being too far away. Oh, that's true. I mean, the work stands are super helpful, and an amazing tool for aquarium keeping. 100%. Now, to be clear, I did not buy mine off of Amazon. I didn't, and here's the reason why. I'm going to explain it to you. I go to the hardware store all the damn time. I am there every week, multiple times. Every single week I got to pick up something, whether it be paint, whether it's electrical wire, fuses, shingles, insulation, screws, lag bolts, a new saw blade, a whatever. I am at the hardware store every week, all the time. Now, whatever hardware store you go to, whether it be Lowe's or Menards or Home Depot or whatever hardware store you go to, maybe it's just a local store. I don't know. I don't live inside your body. You know what I'm talking about. Once a year, there will be a ladder sale. Okay? Once a year. Or maybe 6 months. I don't know. I don't know when they run them. But at some point in time, there will be a ladder sale, and those work platforms will be on sale for like $25. They're aluminum. I have 2 different types. I have the Gorilla ones, and I have the Wagner ones. Like Wagner paints, you know what I'm talking about? Wagner or Wagner? Wagner? Hold on. Let's find out. Wagner or Wagner? Oh, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Wagner. Yeah, Wagner. With a Wagner. And Gorilla ladders ones. I have 2 different kinds because when they go on super sale, I will buy one. Because I'm like, oh, snap. These dang things are like $100. Apparently on Amazon they're like $70, but either way, I use them all the time. So I have 3, I think. I think I have 3 or maybe even 4 at this point. Because I use them all the time. If I can avoid setting up a ladder and just put out those work platforms, I'm all for it. You know? And a lot of times, that's the truth. You definitely got to go Wagner, right? Yeah, I mean, it's nicer than the Gorilla ones, but the Gorilla ones have never failed me either. So they work. Thanks, Luke Wang. What happened? What happened here? Question. I've got a really crappy carpet of Styrogine repens that was doing nice. I assume, based on recent information, that my KH jumped up too high and my GH crashed. Would this cause mass leaf exodus? Yeah. Styrogine has a tendency to freak the F out when the water get weird. So, but needless to say, if the whole plant hasn't melted off, get your water stabilized, you boner, and once you get your water stabilized, it'll start growing again. Get back to normal. But, yeah. Consistent water with Styrogine repens is a good idea because it will have a tendency to freak out and be like, oh, dear God, it's fall, or whatever. As far as I know, the planet would the planet. As far as I know, the plant itself will be considering that we are going through a big seasonal change and be trying to convert to that. Does Styrogeny go above water anytime? Styrogeny repens ever go emergent? That's one I wasn't thinking about whether or not it would go emergent or not. I think it does. Immersed, right here. Well, that does make sense now that I see it and I go, duh, that's how it's farmed. So, welcome to the show. I'm an idiot. Take whatever I say with a grain of salt because I'm a big dum-dum. But Styrogeny repens is grown emergent in the farms to make more of it. Oh my God, there's a subscribe button pops up from my YouTube control panel over the video here. Where'd it? Subscribe. Am I not subscribed to my own channel? It's trying to tell me to subscribe to my own channel. I don't think that's how that works. Hit the like button or something. I don't know. Take your phone out and scream into it and hit the like button with your screams. Scream so loud that the like button gets clicked. That'd be hot. It would be exciting. They're in a tank now with soil substrate, so hopefully that helps. Once a week isn't too bad. You sure you didn't mean multiple times a day? What's going on? Styrogeny repens is surprisingly root hungry. You might just throwing some root tabs near it and see what happens. Did the leaves show signs of deficiency or just plop off? I'll try some tabs. I would definitely try some root tabs. Root tabs go a long way for most people. I rarely, if ever, use root tabs, but I do recommend people, it could be really helpful to what you got going on. And the main reason for that is, I don't know what the F is going on with people's water out there, right? I don't know what's going on with people's water. I don't know what you're doing to your water. So, me not knowing what people are doing to their water, it's always a good recommendation. You know what? Maybe throw some root tabs in there. That might actually help your tank out a lot. I err on the side of let's be beneficial. Let's advise to be beneficial as opposed to not. But root tabs will go probably a lot farther than most other fertilizers for most people. Luke Wang, mass exodus of old growth. New leaves stayed there. Oh. That sounds like your plant's converting to me. Yeah, that just sounds like your plant's converting. Yeah, yeah, it sounds like your plant is converting, I think. Definitely some bops. That's true, Alyssa. Taylor Swift does have some bops. She has some bangers. She has some bangers and some bops. But does it bop? Sounds hungry to me, absorbing old growth to fuel the new. Yep. I was converting and humming, doing well, then crashed. Yeah, I would just stabilize your water. Maybe throw some root tabs in there. Most plants are pretty resilient. Like I said, when your plant does some freak out thing, it probably thinks that a season has changed, and that's not going to be that big of a deal realistically, as long as you can get the tank back to stable and just have it be normal from there. Plants generally go through a lot out in nature. Nobody's controlling the temperature. Nobody's controlling the water changes. Nobody's controlling anything outside. And so, within a certain range, most plants aren't going to have a monumental failure, right? There's a big variance in which you can just have your plants exist because that's how plants exist out in the wild, right? And so that's the reason I would ever say that is outside ain't nobody monitoring the water quality. You know what I mean? Things are just happening and plants are surviving regardless. 100%. Alyssa went and saw NANF page on all the species similar to yours. I'm excited to get some one day. They are crazy nice. 67 different varieties. Whole reason I joined the GSAS in the first place. Meet people nearby and learn from and or help. My gosh, what's going on? How do I trim a stem plant to make it look like a hemisphere? Gary, I am confused by that comment. How do I make it look like a hemisphere? I don't know. Derek Palmer says, "What's up? What's up, buddy? How you doing?" Derek Palmer, still our newest YouTube member. He's not been surpassed by any new YouTube member. I don't know how you would. I don't. Hemisphere. Maybe I'm looking for maybe you're looking for a different word, or maybe you're like phone autocorrected or something. I don't know how you would. I'm confused. I'm confused by that. Please add additional questions that with different words, and maybe I can answer it. But I'm just confused. If you want a hemisphere shape, pick your species right. Often, most prefers not to. What is going on? What is this hemisphere? What is happening? I'm so confused by this terminology. Who's saying a hemisphere? What? I mean, I get what a hemisphere is. Dude, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm confused by your commentary. I mean, it's probably me, though. It's, I'm guessing. Are you saying you want to like make it like a dome shape? Am I? Half a globe is a hemisphere. Yes. Yeah. No, you're not tripping. I don't think I'm tripping either. Are you trying to make like a dome shape of plants? I mean, I guess you could put like, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess to answer that question, like you'd want like long ones in the middle, and then shorter ones going out towards the outside of the circle. I guess. Dutch style. What? Dutch style's like this. Well, let me find a good picture. Dutch style's like this. I don't even know whose this is. I can't give them credit. Add source. Dutch style looks like this. This is like Dutch style is tiered, and the plants are segregated. I don't like segregation, you guys. Just so you know. But that is the Dutch style. This is like a really good example of a Dutch style aquarium. Actually, I don't even know if this foreground plant actually is a good idea. Where's another good example? Like Dutch style is more like stepped, right? It's a step more than like a hemisphere. This is decent. This is decent Dutch style with the plants segregated, but they're spaced out more, as opposed to just those very specific clumps. But like, let's see if we can't find an award-winning one. Oh, here's a Corey Hopkins one. I recommend following Corey Hopkins. That guy's a baller. He's good. Cool dude too. Very nice. Let's see if I can find like an award-winning one. I have actually filmed this aquarium itself right here. There's Tom Barr, sort of Dutch scape. I've been to this tank. I should find the footage of that and post it up in like short videos. I've been digging through a lot of old video stuff, which is very time consuming and very tedious to start building out like short videos. And boy howdy, is it tedious, time consuming, and frustrating, I have to admit. I really would like to just give all of those hard drives to an editor guy who really loves doing it. Or girl. Actually, I would prefer an editor girl. That would be nicer, I think. I think that'd be cooler. There we go. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. But yeah, those are some Dutch style examples for you. Yeah. So I don't know the hemisphere thing. I guess a hemisphere does make sense because, I mean, you're talking about half of a ball, right? Half of a sphere. Hemispheres are 3D geometric objects made up of half of a sphere, with one side being flat and the other side being bowl-like shape. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if I've ever seen, like, a tankscape that way, specifically. Technically, that photo has too many species to be Dutch. How many is it supposed to be? 12 or 16 or something? Rules. Let's find the rules. I think it's 12. I could be wrong. No, there's no number. I thought it was 12, but I don't think there is a number. Okay, here we go. Dutch-style aquascapes are focused on showing off the beauty of aquatic plants by playing on the contrast in textures, shapes, and colors of different aquatic plants. Little or no hardscape rocks wood is used. In 1956, the Dutch Society for Aquarists established the initial set of published guidelines. The traditional rules are pretty strict. It dictates use of no more than one plant species per 10 centimeters, otherwise known as 4 inches, of tank length, with no duplication of same species in another group. Groups should be distinct and well-defined, and traditional NBAT rules dictate a small space between groups. There should be a good variation of height in the tank as a whole. Terracing arrangement of plants in streets that taper towards the rear help to put emphasis on the perspective of depth. Red plants with distinctive leaves are often used as focal points and for contrast. There should be little or no glass visible except for front viewing pane. I guess that makes sense. NBAT rules also imply that a shoal of fish should consist of at least 12 fishes. Maybe that's where I got my 12 from. At least 12 fishes from the same species. Given the rather strict rules for a Dutch tank, only the first 5 tanks shown here fall under the strict guidelines of a Dutch tank. Yeah, so it's a species per 4 inches. Huh? 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 Yeah. So I guess, yeah, that's where the Dutch tank. 1 species per 4 inches of tank. You know, and they got to be defined and clumped and all that. It's been a long time since I've done a Dutch tank myself, so, you know. Yeah. Yeah, 1 species per 10 centimeters of tank length. Although there is a question of, like, how long are those tanks? We don't really know. I guess unless they had a tape measure out front, we really wouldn't know exactly what's going on. I am currently grooming a Dutch tank, brushed up on those a couple of weeks ago. Good times. Let's say 120 inches to centimeters. How much is that? 304. So if we go 304 divided by 10. I'm an idiot. Divided by 10. Yeah, I'm a stupid moron. It's 30. So I could have, in my 120 gallon, I'm so dumb. I actually was like going to type that out on the calculator like a bonkers dum-dum. Anyhow, so like in my 120, if I did my 120 gallon tanks, no, I did that wrong. I'm also an idiot. 48 inches to centimeters. 121. Okay, so I could do 12 species in my 120 gallon tank. There we go. Maybe that's where I got the 12 from. The 120 could have 12 species in it. So 3 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 3? Ooh. Tough questions. Tough questions, guys. 3 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 3? I don't know. I think 3 rows of 4. I think. I watched Chasing Coral this week. Pretty crazy, interesting movie on Netflix. One of the main characters in the story is a hobbyist that keeps coral-only reef-style tanks. After watching it, I feel like a movie anyone who touches saltwater should enjoy and appreciate, or anyone keeping planet tanks, honestly. Haven't seen it, so I have no review, but thanks for bringing it up. I will possibly give it a gander. Chasing Coral. What is this? 2017? Oh, crap. Maybe I have seen this. It's been out a while. What is the movie? Here we go. Let's look at the synopsis here. Synopsis is divers looking for coral. Got it. Coral reefs around the world are vanishing at an unprecedented rate. Team of divers, photographers, scientists set on a thrilling ocean adventure to discover why and to reveal the underwater mystery of the world. Probably worthwhile. I don't think I've seen this, though. Maybe I have. Because 2017, I mean, if this came out like right after Olivia was born, I might have watched this and don't remember. Because that'd be like having a baby. And some of these cutaways look familiar. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a watch again. Yeah. Because I could have been sleep deprivation guy, and have watched that. YouTube says to tickle the like button. I don't know why. It's goofy. Oh my God, no callers today. We have no callers. Mickham, I'm doing some plants with plants and fish. That's it. Nice. Joel G's here. Shout out to the metric system. Yeah, my guy. I like kilometers as a speed, but I don't like centigrade. I like Fahrenheit better. I like kilometers as a speed. I like Fahrenheit better than Celsiums. And as far as the measurement things goes, I don't care unless I don't care as long as it's accurate. That's all I care about. You know? If they're like, if you're like, it's 93.5 centimeters, like word, I can, you know, or if it's 43 and 5/16 inches, right? I don't care. As long as it's accurate, that doesn't bother me. But I like Fahrenheit better than I like Celsius. And I think I like kilometers as a speed better, but as far as the measuring thing goes, I don't care as long as it's accurate, really. 32 for freezing point is pure madness. 26 for it's really hot out is pure insanity. Right? What's it's 40 degrees, right? No, we want this. It's converting backwards, guys. 40. We want 40 Celsius is 104 in Fahrenheit, right? So if we go like, check this out, 26 degrees outside, it's like 80. It's nice. But 33 is 91.4 degrees outside, right? Don't tell me that Celsius makes more sense than Fahrenheit, right? That makes no sense. It's 33 degrees outside. Cool. So should I wear a jacket? No, it's wicked hot. It is like, it will like burn your face off. It's so hot out. You'll be sweating. Maybe wear a thong outside. That's how hot it is outside. But you're saying 33, right? Now, if you look at Fahrenheit as a percentage of 100, right? Look at it this way. If you're a person who understands percentages, right? That like, if you get 50%, it's not great. But you're like, you got like half, you know? If you get like 60%, you're getting like a D. Like, okay, we could deal with that. 70%, 70% hot in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? The world is just a ridiculous mess. So, I don't know. I'm giving. Who cares? No one cares. No one cares what I think about Celsius and Fahrenheit, honestly. But I like Fahrenheit better. Some people like to eat artificial banana candy, and I think it's the most disgusting thing that has ever existed on this planet. So, you know, it's a preference. It's a preference thing, and I'm not going to ever convince anybody to change it. They almost changed it in the States in the 70s, but they really put their feet down, the Americans, the gringos. The gringos were like, go F yourself. We're staying. We're staying with the king's measurements. Whoever the last king's foot was, that's what we're staying with. We're staying with the king's foot. And we're doing it. And we have hogshead still. Hogshead is a measurement in these United States. But we have liters and gallons, you know. Celsius is easy. -50 is really friggin' cold. 50, really friggin' hot. 0, water freezes. Water boils at 100. Yeah, your stupid Celsius isn't very accurate, though. That's the problem. Like, there's a big difference between 70 degrees and 80 degrees. But for Celsius... Okay, hold on. Celsius to Fahrenhoozles. Here we go. Enter. Okay. So, if we go 70 degrees. Hold on. We can't do that. We have to go Fahrenheit. So, if we go 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 21.11111 Celsius, right? So, you'd probably say 21 or 22. But if you go 80 degrees, it's 26. And there's a big difference there. There's a big difference between those two temperatures. One of them, 70 degrees, very comfortable, no concerns. 80 degrees, you might be getting the sunbeams on your eyes and sweating your balls off if you're wearing too many clothes, right? There's a big difference between the two. But you guys are like, oh, it'll be like 21 degrees or maybe 26 degrees. Who knows? I don't know. You know? And you're like, there's a difference there. There's a big difference there. Y'all got this weird inch, feet, yard, miles, whatever. Don't tell me that's easy. It's all just guessing whenever you want to convert it. It's not guessing when you want to convert it. You just have to convert it, right? But here's the big issue, right? Is that some people go like, "Oh, miles is crazy and kilometers is crazy." Now here's the thing. No one can guesstimate kilometers or miles to save their life. You just look out there and point at something that's a kilometer away and see if you get it right. It's probably 3 kilometers. It's probably a half a kilometer, whatever. Same thing with miles. People go like, it's 2 miles over that way. And you're like, all right, word. And, you know, you actually check it. And it's like 7 or a half a mile. Right? Like, that's the bigger issue. The bigger issue is like humans do not understand distances very well, right? But when it comes down to like measuring and stuff, it just needs to be accurate. That's all I really care about. As long as you get an accurate measurement, then I think we're fine. Oh, Vitra's here today. We're stuck in the doldrums of talking about metric versus imperial measure, and it's just, you know, we're lost. We're lost. We need Vitra to steer the ship back and bring us some interesting topic. Or I'm just going to have to go play some Risk. Actually, it's almost 2 o'clock already. None of my tanks would be considered Dutch, but that's okay because I wasn't trying for that. Well, actually, yeah, that's a good point. If you're not trying for a Dutch tank, then you'll be good. Joel G, but if you grew up with Imperial, it wouldn't feel weird. They're all weird. Just learn them all. Yeah, it's true. There's only 2 systems, so it's really not that elaborate. What's this Fish Club says it's Monday. Let's go. We didn't get enough likes today to let's go. We didn't get enough people liking the like button. How is the health stuff? Everyone feeling better? Anything happened in the fish space for you? Okay. I am feeling better. Much better. Last week I didn't feel bad. Last week I didn't feel that bad, but I had my voice was all effed up on Monday, and you guys saw I was looking tired. I'm not tired now. I'm doing good. Everything's going good. I'm just going good, baby. So we're good. Olivia's good health-wise. We had a pretty action-packed weekend. We had a ton of crap going on. We had like a million things to do this weekend. It was out of control. But we got a bunch of them done. So that's cool. Working on a new garden space out here with some of the ponds out of Corey from Aquarium Co-op's fish room. I don't know if you guys watch Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Kobe McElroy. He took a bunch of his ponds out of his fish room, and I went and got some of them from him, and we're putting garden stuff in them because those would make really good raised garden beds. So we're going to be putting the raspberries and blueberries and stuff in those for now. This last weekend we got those. We got a big area stripped out for that, and we got them put in, the weed barrier down. Started putting in the wood mulch in the bottom of them, so we got that done. Although I got like a lot more wheelbarrows of wood mulch getting into those dang things. But that's going to be a lot of just wheelbarrowing, and I don't know if anybody thinks that's exciting, but if you guys want to see me wheelbarrow some wood chips around, let me know, man. Maybe I'll live feed it. So, you guys know a while back I had to replace my action cameras because 2 of them broke, these guys. And one of them still works, which I let Olivia use this one. That's why it's sitting right here. See what I like to see what she records. It's pretty hilarious from the vantage point of a 4-year-old, what she finds interesting. But we got the newer ones, and actually the newer ones, I've been trying to test out like live streaming from the newer ones. It's not 100% perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but then here's the downside is that I could live stream from them, but like checking on the chat is sort of impossible, right? That I haven't figured out a good solution for, so I don't really know what's going on with the chat. So if I'm live streaming and people are chatting, I don't know what you guys would be chatting. What would you guys be doing? What would you guys be doing in the chat that's inappropriate? But then again, I wouldn't be able to answer any questions, and I wouldn't be able to shout at anybody if they became a member or if they like super chatted $1 billion. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I got $1 billion. We gotta go. We gotta go because we gotta go buy more fish tanks, right?" Yeah. So this last weekend, we actually went to the Master Gardener's plant sale here at the Evergreen Fairgrounds in Western Washington, in Monroe, Washington, right? A lot of cows, a lot of cow manure, a lot of farms out there. It's all good, baby. I love it out there. Those are my people. They all smell like cow poop, and I'm like, that's my guy. How you doing? How you doing, guy that smells like cow poop? Cow poop guy. What's up? You know, it's usual normal stuff. Anyhow, we went out there. It was a lovely little meetup in a big giant barn. Had everything set out there. I shot a bunch of video of it. We'll see how well that comes to be. We'll see if it's good, bad, indifferent. Good, bad, not good, good or bad. We'll see. We'll see if people like it. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll like it. We'll see what the video's like. We've got a bunch of cool plants, which is amazing. I love that. They were super cheap. Spent like $40 and got 16 plants or something. 16 pots worth of plants. So we got some beans. We got some ground cover. The one plant I wanted was this rock ground cover. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I got it. And I was like, yeah, this is the one I want. And then I just ignored everything else because I wanted this one plant because I'm an idiot. But we got some raspberries. We got some other plants that I can't remember now. But yeah, so very cool, very affordable. And everybody that was there was super chill. Master gardeners, they have their master gardener certificate. I don't know who issues those, but somebody does. Somebody issues those master gardener certificates, and they're deep. They're knee deep in master gardeners around there. So, very cool. A lot of gray hair, a lot of gray-haired people digging in the earth, singing to their plants or whatever they're doing. But it was a big, massive thing, and it went really well. And we had a lot of fun. We did that. We had to go to Costco after that, and I was the victim of a road rage incident with some crazed maniac that thought I wasn't driving fast enough in the Costco parking lot. Very weird. Very, very weird. Very weird interaction with some guy who was just irate. He was losing his cool. I don't know. Maybe he's got bad things going on in his life. That's what I assumed, and it was like, hey, man, whatever it is you got going on, this ain't worth it, man. Whatever your weirdness you got going on, this ain't gonna make it better. You being mad at me? I'm just some guy. Then I'm driving in a parking lot. How fast do you think I'm supposed to be going? It's ridiculous. We call a 100 millimeter race the 100 meter race. Is that what you guys do? What do you call a mile race? Well, we'd call it a mile. You go around the track 4 times. I don't know. You go around the track 4 times. I don't know. I'm not a track and field guy. Frankly, I don't care. What? You can't learn to add and divide by a 10 or a 100. By the way, what do you call a 100-meter race in the Olympics? That's the Olympics. It's international. It's European. The Olympics is European. You guys understand that, like, the Olympics came from Europe, right? So whatever the Europeans are doing is what's going to happen there because it's a European thing. Right? You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. A marathon is when the bozos ran around. Who was it that ran around? Marathon origin. Wasn't it like somebody ran late 19th century from the marathon in Greece? Yeah, it was Greece. The Persians in 490 BC. The modern race is based on the tradition that a messenger ran from Marathon to Athens, 22 miles. So we're not even doing it right. Are we even doing it right? Because the marathon's 26.2 miles, right? Yeah, because the marathon nowadays is 26.2 miles. So I don't know. They made it longer, I guess, with the news. The original account by Herodotus told the messenger, who cares? Frankly, I don't care. Marathon is a thing. People run it. It's dumb. I don't care. What's your opinion on tiered aquarium racks? Pros or cons? Actually, I went to this really big, gigantic fish room that had tiered aquariums. And at the time, I thought, wow, that's really interesting. That seems really cool. Look at what these guys are doing. That's a thing. It's different. This must be great. And the people that all worked there said, this is not great. Don't do this. I was like, what? Everyone that worked there was like, nah, dude, just put them straight up and down. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I will take your word for it. So I have only interacted with them in person, like messing with them in person a couple of times on a couple of really rare occasions. And the time that I went to the place that had a giant place set up like that, they were like, no, it's not viable. Don't do this. It's not great. Well, I mean, it had been set up like that for like 40 years or something. So obviously you could do it, but they were like, yeah, if we were going to redo it, we would not do it this way. Yeah. It got brought up because I was like, what? Why are they like this? And the big thing for them being tiered like that was so that you could step up on a step in front of the first tank and then step up on a step behind the first tank to get up to the top tanks. Yeah, and I don't think they would ever do it because it's a big waste of floor space for very little reward, from what I understand. Like, the reward was much smaller than the sacrifice of all of the floor space. It seems like it would be a giant pain to reach over all the tanks to get to the top, most of recessed tanks. Yeah, that seems to be like the biggest issue. Yeah, so I wouldn't go for it. Plus, you're going to lose a lot of real estate, you know. And for gringos that have 6,000 square foot houses, maybe it's not a big deal. But for the average regular people like myself, I go, well, every square inch is sort of valuable, right? Yeah. Naboo says, I can make a funny joke here, but I'll just let it be. Measurements are measurements. As an engineer, you're using whatever you got to use to make sense. Working in 1/16 of an inch is easy. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't really, that's what I was saying is like, I don't care about the measurements as long as it's accurate. And if you want to do metric, I can do metric. If you want to do imperial, I can do imperial. Like, it doesn't matter. Just, if it specifically says a thing, I'll just do that. But temperature affects me every day, right? So that's why I kind of have an opinion on that one. And when I'm set to Celsiums, I don't know what to expect, really, because there's such big variance in between the temperatures, right? You know, because it's like if there was a range there where it's like it's 17 Celsius to 28 Celsius, you're like, now, hold on a second. That's a big variance in temperature. So it's going to be pretty cold, and then it's going to warm up a bunch. Okay. Which, obviously, as a sane-thinking adult person that walks around not breathing out of my mouth all the time, I would figure that out, you know? So, like, if I moved to Thailand and everything was in metric all the time, eventually I would just adapt to going like, oh, that's what that is. Got it. And then I would just move the F on. And I probably would continue to have a stupid opinion so that I'd be able to talk to people about it, generally speaking. But other than that, frankly, you know, it doesn't matter. Forgot about the 3,000 meter. That's right. Don't forget about the 3,000 meter. It's a very important race for something. I don't know. For something that happens? I don't know. And yes, and then those baking recipes, holy moly, spoons and cups, just measure in grams. Most every actual baking recipe is not in spoons and cups. Almost every baking recipe is by weight and volume. Spoons and cups is for home use, and the reason for the spoons and cups for home use is that I think it was so it has to do with origin. I can't remember. That's an interesting story that it had to do with a cookbook that became super popular in the United States. And I don't remember like the dates, but it was like the late 19th century or something in the U.S. I think. What the F is this? Yeah, hold on a second. Let me read this. Here it is. The Boston Cooking School Cookbook in 1896 by Fanny Merritt Farmer. Yeah. Yes, that Fanny Farmer. In 1896, a book became the Boston cooking school cookbook became super popular in the United States, and it standardized the cup, spoon, teaspoon, all of the things that people had around, because in the past people would just have a spoon. People didn't have like measuring devices and stuff. But that's when it standardized in the U.S., and then those got manufactured to a point where that eventually became, they're just everywhere. Like they manufactured so many of them that they're everywhere, right? And then those just ended up becoming the standard because of that, right? Like nobody really sat down like, I've got a plan, guys. This is what we're going to do. But the conversions here, actually I can just share them with you. I'm familiar with this conversion because in commercial use, this is how everything gets done. In actual baking, this is how everyone in actual baking does it. So if you have a recipe that is in this form, right? So 1 cup of all-purpose, 1 cup of AP flour is 5 ounces or 142 grams, right? And we have gram scales and ounce scales depending on what you're doing. 1 cup of cake flour is actually 4 ounces or 113 grams. 1 cup of whole wheat flour is 5.5 ounces or 156 grams. See? So all of the conversions exist. Our butter is broken down into these quarter cup sticks, which is 8 tablespoons or 4 ounces or 113 grams, right? So this is how you would actually do it. If you're actually baking something, this is how you actually do it. You do weigh it. But bear in mind, a lot of people don't have a scale, right? A lot of people don't have a scale at home. They just don't. Is that my problem? I guess. In some weird way, it's my fault that they don't have a scale at home. I don't know. I don't know, dude. But yeah, as far as like doing actual baking, yes, you weigh everything out. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Europeans all get a free scale when they are born or something. Did you get a free scale when you were born? Actually, Wesley just has a brand new child at home. Maybe he got his scale sent to him in the mail. But you guys don't have a mail service that is supported by your people. So it probably cost as much to pay for the shipping as it would for an American to just buy a scale. So maybe it balances out that way, but I doubt it. Europeans, you got your free scales, you know what I mean? It's wild. The free scale definitely needs to be calibrated. That's true. You would have to definitely calibrate it. That's for sure. That thing came in the mail. Oh, Derek has a 9-month-old, no scale with delivery. Dang it. They weighed it, though, right? I remember they weighed my daughter. I remember they weighed her. Usually free shipping from 15 euros. Okay. Actually, yeah, I mean, if you're going to get the free shipping, then I think I would go for it. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a scale. Matt, that's a bold statement. I would wager against that. I would wager against your statement that you don't know anyone who doesn't have a scale. I guarantee you know somebody who doesn't have a scale. I want to go back to a handful of. Yeah, hell yeah. That's the difference between baking and like being a savory chef, right? Being a chef, like cooking dinner. There's still handfuls in there. I don't know how many times I'd be working on the line, and it's like, what's the recipe for tonight's special or whatever, right? Here's this dish. Here's how you do it. It's like this. Just do it. Just do that. Well, how much just goes in here? Well, as much as you need. Right? Uh-oh. What are you guys talking about? Bacopa caroliniana is pretty easy. It is an easy plant, I would say. I would put it on my list of easy plants. Ryan Moeller says, good afternoon, longtime listener, first-time commenter. I just started a 75-gallon tank with a sump looking for an easy, low to medium light stem plant and easy carpet plant. Easy carpet plant. Low light. Low to medium light. An easy carpet plant. Man, I can't think of an easy carpet plant off the top of my head. Easy carpet plant ideas aquarium. I'm actually just gonna look it up and see if we can't spark some brain thinkings here. We want low light plants. These are all highlight plants. Those are highlight plants. Those are highlight plants. Everything here is a highlight plant. This is one of the issues I ran into. I'm recalling now. This is the biggest issue that I ran into when I started 15, 16, 20 years ago, whenever the hell it was, trying to do some plants, was figuring out what I could get with the crappy lights we had back then. But I would say dwarf sage is probably a good place to start. I spent a lot of time figuring out how to get more light into my tanks. Microsword, that's a good spot. Dwarf sage would be like pretty easy. Microsword would be pretty easy for that kind of lower light. Carpeting. One of the biggest issues with like a low light plant that's going to carpet is that when you have low light, even the carpeting plants themselves have a tendency to reach towards the light, aka grow taller. So that's ultimately kind of ended up being my big bummer in the past. Was I kept trying to do all these plants that, I wanted them to carpet and spread out, but I didn't have enough light. So then I'd add more light, and then I was messing. Obviously you get more algae and stuff like that, right? So many years ago when I was battling that stuff, is that I ultimately realized, like, if I want to have some actual carpet plants, some plants that are going to actually carpet and behave the way that I want them to, generally speaking, I needed to add a little more light. And the thing was, it was less complicated than I was making it to be, right? It was more. I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. Realistically, a couple desk lamps that put out daylight, temperature light, was enough to even grow like dwarf baby tears and stuff like that. Now, a lot of the setups were kind of ugly looking, but it was fairly easy to get enough light in there once you realized that, like, it didn't need to be the surface of the sun to grow the stuff. It literally was fairly easy. I love dividing and creating tank sections for fish. Oh yeah, that's it. I like that too. Nabokov fan says, Ryan, look into moss too. Christmas moss. Yeah, Christmas moss actually is like quite easy to grow. Yeah, it's pretty easy to grow. Dang it, Joel, you made cups and spoons a thing. It is a thing. I didn't make cups or spoons a thing. What are we talking about? I didn't make that. Man, my statement was that I didn't make it, but you know what? Truth be told, it was me. That's right. I was doing it. I made cups and spoons a thing. I know you were thinking before. I'm going to take his word for it that he didn't have anything to do with it, but the truth is I invented the cups and spoons thing. I invented it. And the piano key necktie. Also, low-tech setup, no CO2, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I think I realistically would stick to mosses and stuff like that. Bucephalandra, like that stuff. You can get some really interesting boosts that doesn't need a lot of light. They're not super hard to grow. They don't need like crazy CO2 or any of that kind of stuff. They just need like a nice consistent tank. Um, yeah, so you could get into the kind of more expensive, sort of fancy stuff. But I would just stick to. Um, Don't go chasing waterfalls, right? Yeah. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't do it. Stick to the lakes and the rivers that you're used to. Yes, I'm quoting TLC. Um, so slightly simplified, scales are something we get from our grandparents. No need to ask why or what for. That's right. They're just gifted down. Through the generations, the scales shall be passed down. For smaller tanks, I've pulled apart a moss ball and laid it out like a carpet. I know they're still a little hard to come by still. Yeah, I mean, you can always allow some moss to spread out, grow around, do some trimming, do some pinching and pulling like I was talking about earlier. And you know, I think I would just focus on the plants that are going to work in the area that you're in, right? Like if you're doing that, you're going to be I think you're just going to see a better result, and you're going to have probably a little bit happier with your aquarium, right? When you kind of are just staying in the zone with what you're already kind of got going on. And the reason I say that is like maintaining wacky water parameters is it's difficult. It's difficult, and it's frustrating if something goes wrong, right? I would always sort of tune what you have already or what you're going to get to what you have already, right? Like if you have this tap water that is okay, so let's describe a tap water, right? Like let's say you have 7.4 pH, a little bit of ammonia, a little bit of oh my god, a little bit of hardness, but not crazy. You sort of just in that zone of like, man, this water is nothing crazy about it. You could probably have a pretty wide range of things that you can do, but if you're trying to get that water down to like 5.8 pH and maintain it at all times because you want to do these really weird plants, it could be extraordinarily frustrating, time-consuming, costly, you know, all of the things that will make you want to stop doing the hobby and not have a lot of fun with it, right? All of those things could be happening. And then you go like, oh, I'm pissed off. I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. All the time and effort I put in here, everything died. You know what I mean? And then that's just like a huge bummer. Nobody wants to sign up for that. As you progress in the hobby over like a really long period of time, you might decide like, hey, you know what? I do want something more challenging. Let me save some money and I'll get a fancy light. Oh, maybe save some money and I'll get a CO2 system. Or I'm gonna get some fancy substrate. Let me dip my toes into this and let me try that and let me try that. But if you do have kind of just a low light tank and you have X water and you're just kind of doing water changes from the tap and that kind of stuff, then just focus on the things that are going to do well in that. And you'll probably end up with so many more benefits from that, unexpected benefits from that, that it ends up being worth your time. Yeah. Somebody asked something and I forgot. Where was it? Where was it? Somebody had a thing, the question I was going to answer. For a couple decades, the only people I knew that had scales were potheads. True. Facts. I have the co-op light, also just trying to stay away from algae. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you have the co-op light, you're definitely like a medium light. Yeah. Somebody was asking about Seachem fertilizer. Where did that go? I'm remembering what the comment was, but I don't want to read it wrong. Do 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 do. Where did it go? Oh my God! Somebody asked. Oh, that's the problem with this chat. You can never look up. Control find. Does control find work on here? Control F. Oh my God, it does. There it is. I didn't realize that control F works in the chat. Oh my God, that's so hot. I love it. This is, oh my God. Welcome to May 1st, 2023. Dum over here. Just realized I can look up keywords from comments because I'm a special boy. I'm a special boy, you guys. All right? Thanks for all your time and patience while I slowly but surely figure out how to use a freaking computer like a dingbat. Oh my God. I'm a special guy, okay? Welcome. Simon Buys asks, what is your opinion on the Seachem fertilizer range? To clarify a little bit, I'm not sure if you're asking range as in like the quantity for the quality or any of that kind of stuff. Personally, I have found good results with the Seachem fertilizer. Where I don't find good results is not taking into account. I don't necessarily, when I see people not having good results with the fertilizer, they're not taking into account like their base water, their aquarium current readings, measurements, whatever you want to call it, water conditions. They're not taking their current conditions, their tap water conditions, and then going from there, right? Most people aren't doing that. Now, if you are doing that, and you are like, this fertilizer has, this much nitrate in it, has this much molybdenum in it, has this much whatever. My tank is at this. Last week it was at this. I'm doing this water change, and I'm going to add this fertilizer. Now, what most people aren't doing is cataloging that stuff. So, regardless of the name brand of fertilizer that you're using, if you are doing this stuff, you will find out if this fertilizer is working well for you, right? So if you're doing tracking and figuring out what's going on with your aquarium, what you're adding to it, what's being removed from it, aka the plants are eating out of the water, and then going, oh, I'm going to add back to it. If you aren't really tracking that, it wouldn't matter really like what fertilizer you're using, except for like dumb luck, right? You could be that guy who just does add this much fertilizer every once in a while, and hey, look at it go. You're like, okay, but you don't know why look at it go. You just are adding stuff to it, and it's just happening to work out, which if you're that guy, just go buy a lottery ticket because obviously you're super lucky. You say, I think Tropica is available. I haven't seen it in stores yet, but I have heard other people using it. So the thing is, like, liquid fertilizers are for ease of use so that you can do the tests and stuff and then add liquid fertilizers to it. If I was to give somebody like a real like fertilizer advice, I would recommend people buy dry fertilizer, mix your own. You will have all of the fertilizer you will ever need for the rest of your life for like $50 or maybe $100 or something, whatever, however much it is now. I don't know. Inflation and COVID and all this crazy stuff has happened, so maybe fertilizer is super expensive. But my recommendation would be buy dry fertilizer, do a little bit of work in figuring out how much of what you need to dose, and test your water, and you will save all of the money forever. And you will have never a concern in your life about fertilizing ever again. That's the real advice I would give people. People don't want that advice because they're like, wait a minute, I have to do work? You're like, yeah. It will become not work after a little while. But if you're looking for like a comprehensive fertilizer, you're going to have to read some bottles and just look for a comprehensive fertilizer. And Tropica makes a good one. Seachem makes a good one. Alyssa just said UNS. Like, UNS makes a good one. So you say you don't live in the U.S. So my guess would be like, I don't know, maybe you live in Europe or something. Now, as far as like living in Europe, it's much more difficult for companies to be like super scammy in Europe as opposed to other parts of the world like Asia, um, Africa, North America, South America, right? The EU is pretty well regulated. That if somebody was selling something that's wrong, they get punished pretty hard. So I think if you're in the EU, you probably can't go wrong picking a reputable sort of broad spectrum fertilizer for your tank. I know that like Sarah makes one. When I was there, I was surprised like how many brands there were really. But I don't think one really outshines the other, right? So yeah, I guess that's kind of my take. My take is like with a little bit of work, you can save all the money with some dry fertilizers. That's really what it boils down to, in my opinion. Octopus plant makes me crazy. It grows faster than the weeds in my yard. True. True. It does grow that fast. It grows faster than our weeds, for sure. Mossballs are hard to find. Yeah, mossballs actually have been super hard to find for some reason. I think it has something to do with the zebra snail outbreak. I think a bunch of the mossball farms had zebra snails. Zed? Do you say zebra? Zebra snails? Anyhow, zebra snails got into a bunch of the mossball farms, and suddenly there were zebra snails at every Petco, PetSmart, everywhere, all around. And that is bad. Zebra snails are very invasive and not good, so a lot of them got tossed. Skog shrimp and stuff. Mossballs are hard to find because of zebra snails. Yep. And the freshwater mussels. Yep. Those are bad. And I'm surprised that they got into the U.S., but also not surprised because we don't really have that much border regulation on stuff. So, people wonder why there's like all sorts of crazy stuff coming into the United States because they're underfunded. So, it is what it is. I can advocate for the funding of that stuff, but there ain't much else I can do. I mean, I vote for people that advocate for it also. So there's two things I could do. I could advocate for it, and I can vote for people that advocate for it. Yeah. I was pointing at the TV. It's right there, Joel. I don't know what's going on behind me. If you're pointing at the TV and there's something going on back here, I won't know. I won't know. I'm probably under attack as we speak. I'm probably being stalked by a stalker. A night stalker, probably. Somebody who works at the grocery store, putting things on shelves in the middle of the night. YouTube says I got to tell you to hit the like button. Reminder, hit the like button. And welcome to the commercial segment where I do my commercial. Do you like YouTube stuff? I'm YouTubing right now. Oh, my God. And we only have 66 members and 92 patrons. That's not enough people for me to do more YouTube stuff. So you should probably become one of those people, and the next thing you know, I'll be able to do more YouTube stuff because I got to pay bills just like every other idiot on the planet. If you don't have any money, I don't do it. If you have extra money, do it. If you have extra money, become a producer of the channel today at the top tier. If you got the money. If you're some Bezos idiot out there spending all your money on shaving your head and going to Coachella, cut it out. Just slice me off a little membership there, Bezos. And no, I won't broadcast on Twitch, even though I get emails 5 times a day about my Twitch account. Start streaming on the Twitch account. Come to Twitch again. Come back. And I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time for Twitch streaming. I'd rather YouTube stream, anyhow. Sound advice. Thanks for the advice. You're welcome. Not sure about UNS. I do live in Europe, in Belgium. God, I want to go back to Belgium. Simon, are you going to be at Vivarium? Who's going to be at Vivarium this year? I want to try to go to Vivarium this year because the COVID stuff is figured out. November 11th to 12th, I believe, are the dates. So let's go SeaTac. No. We don't want SeaTac. We want to go out of here. I probably want to fly into Amsterdam, right? Economy. First class, baby. Okay, it's $20,000 to go first class. We can't do that. Business? Nope. Premium economy? Nope. Looks like I'm sitting in the back. Okay, we checked the prices, guys. I'm sitting in the back if I even try to go. Well, let's get the dates right. Come on, feel the noise. Let's try to go to Vivarium. Let's go November 9th. Wait, no. Okay. To the 20th. How about that? 19th. Fly back on Sunday? What's the cheap day to fly back? Show flights. Give me some flights, Chief. Come on now. Give us some flights. How many stops? 2 stops? San Francisco. Oh, my God. Every time I fly out of San Francisco, I get stuck there. Oh, my God. PHL? Is that Philadelphia? Oh, my God. I don't want to go to... I don't want to go to Philadelphia. G-Bear, you can't smoke on flights anymore, dude. There's no smoking section in the back. Although I am old enough to remember when people smoked on airplanes. I was a little guy. I was not planning on going, but you should go. Nuremberg Inner Zoo? I don't think Inner Zoo's this year, is it? Inner Zoo? I think Corey's going. Yeah, Inner Zoo's 2024. Next year. Right? Oh, what was that? I got like boogers. Oh, I gotta say no to cookies. Necessary cookies. Turn. No. Without these cookies, our website will not work. We need them to be able to offer you a free service. We cannot do it without these cookies, which is why you cannot deactivate them. Well, screw you, Interzoo. I'm not going to your website then. Dude, required cookies onto my computer. Oh, maybe that's not their website. Is this their website? I might have clicked on the wrong one. Reject all. Reject all cookies. Okay, Interzoo has a good website, guys. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes, Chief. Pump the freaking brakes. Okay, I was on the wrong internet website. Interzoo has one where I don't have cookies. Oh, thank God. I should eat some real cookies. That would be dope. You know what would be rad? Eating some real cookies right now. Right about now? Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. Eat some cookies, bro. Interzoo 2024, 7th to 10th. 7th to 10th. May. Whoa. I'm an idiot. Welcome to the internet. I'm a dumb guy. May 7th to 10th. May 7th to 10th, 2024. 2024. Okay? So we don't have, there's no Interzoo this year, basically put. But Vivarium is November 11th to 12th. Zombie Drummer's dude, I got boogers too. Yeah, I don't know. It's spring, man. The trees are jizzing in the airs, right? The trees are just full release right now. So, of course, we're all going to end up with some boogers. The Tulip Festival's happening right now. Everything's blooming like crazy, and we're going to get some boogers. That's how it's going to be going, you know? These plants start getting after it. It's a time. I didn't have allergies when I was a kid, but I slowly but surely have getting allergies over time. Let's see. Overnight layover? Oh, go F yourself. We don't want no overnight layover. Okay. So from this airport does not look good. Let's change the dates a little bit. Come on. Let's change the dates a little bit. Let's go November 8th. Let's see what we get. Ooh. We get some better options. Ooh, this is a better option, guys. This one has a layover in Heathrow. Just show me the details, you stupid computer. Oh, if I push the right button, it'll give me the details. Oh, that's the return. This is operator error, like 100%. If I click that, Heathrow. Yeah. Oh, this has an overnight stay in Heathrow. 10-hour, 35-minute layover at Heathrow. But if I get stuck on the layover, then I would just be in England. Oh, but they wouldn't let me out because England's no longer in the EU. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want non-EU layover countries. We don't want that. Sorry to all the Brits, I guess. Let's change this. Let's go. Let's change that and let's see what that does. Oh my God, this one's only $940, dude. Turkish Airlines? How are Turkish Airlines? How are the Turkish Airlines? Steve says I smoked on an airplane, Greyhound bus too. Back when I used to smoke, I smoked on a bus. I smoked on an airplane. Where was I going? Mexico or something? Or maybe Hawaii? I don't know. It was a long time ago. I don't really remember. This flight's not too bad. This flight's not too bad. A layover in Istanbul. That's not bad. To go from SeaTac to Istanbul. 11 hours flying. Then you get to Istanbul. And a 5-hour flight from Istanbul with only a 2-hour layover. This might be the hotness, you guys. This would be pretty hot. Oh, but Delta Virgin has one. Hold on, go back. Iceland Air. Oh my God, if I could fly Iceland Air, that would be so good. Are you showing me one way? What? No, this is the full deal, right? 3 more flights. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's only $1,000 to go on Iceland Air. If I leave on Thursday and come back on a Sunday. Iceland Air is dope, dude. I'll tell you this much. Like, Iceland Air is rad. Every time I flew on Iceland Air, I was happy with myself. Iceland Air has no premium economy. Iceland Air has business class. Oh my God, you're gonna fly in the sky. But that's $3,000 as opposed to $1,000. How much is first class? Iceland Air, they don't even have first class. They're like, we don't care. I would like to go to Istanbul sometime, Mikam. I don't know how safe I would feel there. I have a lot of friends from Turkey that moved here from Turkey, and all of them were pretty wild guys. And one of my good buddies went back to Turkey with them to go do stuff and visit, check it out. And they actually got kidnapped while they were there. They got kidnapped, you know? Just think of like a movie kidnapping with guys in a van and guns and bags over your heads, and that was pretty much the deal. So I don't know. But I would like to go. I think even with all that, I would still like to go. How long have we been streaming today? Oh, we got 2 hours? All right. I was the exclusive parts guy and freight forwarder for Turkish Airlines in Seattle for 8 years, many times at Boeing spares distribution at 6 a.m. Nice. Is Turkish Airlines any good? I haven't flown on Turkish Airlines. Are they good? I don't know. Mikam says, I'm in Stockholm, not going myself, but a friend will. It's the best Killy show in Europe. Oh, Mikam was talking about the Killifish convention. Yeah, I don't know. We went to that Guppy Fish convention in the Guppy Fish convention competition, whatever it was, in Europe, and that was amazing. So I would imagine that the Killifish one's going to be good too. I would love to go. I can't afford it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't afford it. So I'm going to try to do Vivarium because I think I might be able to work it out. I think I might be able to. I don't know. I'm currently in the state of like, I might be able to do that because it's 6 months from now. Maybe. And I want to go back to Netherlands. I want to go to Belgium. And I want to go see all my Netherlands friends and go do stuff in Netherlands, Belgium. Maybe France. Maybe France would be cool. Germany's not far. You could drive there. You guys all just live right next to each other, so you could just drive around to that stuff, you know. Anyhow, we got no super chats today, so we've made $0. We had no new members today, so that's a 0 count. We had 22 likes, so we're at a 0 count. But I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, honestly, seriously, honestly. Thank you guys for coming out and chit-chatting with my silly nonsense while I be here being a dingbat, consistently screwing things up. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I really do. And from, like, a real standpoint, from, like, a real honest standpoint, I want to be doing more YouTube stuff. And I just continue to fail at it. But I'm going to keep trying, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Failure is just an obstacle, and we'll just keep working. We'll just keep freaking grinding. You know what I'm saying? We'll just keep grinding on the grindstone of life, and I probably would have broadcast a little bit longer, but I got to go to the bathroom, so needless to say, I don't want to pee my pants on YouTube, whether I get extra members for that or not. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not a thing that I'm going to do. Okay? Okay. We're in agreement. We all agree? Okay, I love you. Bye.